Hey everyone, I hope all of you guys are having a wonderful day. And today, we're doing a what if near and dear to my heart. This what if's about Bojji. If you don't know who Bojji is, get off this video and go watch Ranking of the King. It's literally a top tier anime. I don't know what you're doing on this video. Like, why would you even click on this video? Just go watch Ranking of the King real quick. It's like, how many episodes? 12? 13? It doesn't matter how many episodes there are. Just go watch all of it. I don't really care. And other than that, guys, let's get started with the video.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
So we start off this what if with Izuku being born, but as we shift over to the Ranking of the King's world, we see Bojji, who had become king, and is now dying, as people are sad and everything, since Bojji was a great king and everything as well too. But after Bojji dies, he's on the other side, as his friends are calling toward him, and his parents and basically everyone are calling toward him, telling him to come to the other side. But something else was calling toward him, an unresistible urge to go somewhere else, to not cross the side, to go to the other side. As Bojji was completely confused what it was, but he couldn't help the urges as he starts running toward the other side. As all of a sudden, he wakes up in a baby's body. He's wondering what's going on as he hears himself crying, as he's wondering if he can hear things now. He's completely confused, since in his past life, he couldn't hear anything and he was completely deaf. As he was wondering what was going on, he starts looking around as he notices Hisashi and Inko, as he's wondering who these people are and why he can't move. And after a while, Bojji finally gains mobility, and I'm going to be referring to Bojji as Deku from now on. As Deku starts moving around, he starts to see, this new world, as he knows that this is a completely new world and this is in the far future. As he's completely mesmerized by this new world, he starts looking around and notices his parents watching the TV. As he gets closer, he notices a figure similar to his father. As he gets worried and starts crawling toward it, trying to see what it is. As he gets closer, he finally notices All Might. As he notices All Might, this person who looks real similar to his father and has similar powers, as this worries Deku, but then he sees this person saving people. As Deku's completely confused, but he's happy that this person, just like his father, is saving people, as this is the first time that Deku gets inspired by All Might. And at this point of the story, a lot of people right now are probably like, wait a minute, what is Bojji's power set? And first of all, I told you to go watch Ranking of the King, okay? I know you didn't watch it, okay? I know you didn't get off this video and go watch it. But, I'll tell you either way. So Bojji's power set is basically Ultra Instinct. He can basically dodge anything. And another power set that he does have is basically, targeting people's weak points. But the thing is, he has 0 strength. And he basically goes in between the molecules and completely destroys them. And I'm going to say that's pretty OP right here. And as we continue on with the story, Izuku grows up and he has a speech impediment since, in his past life he wasn't able to speak properly. And he couldn't make that many friends due to this, and he was probably having a hard time right now as well. And especially a harder time when he starts learning about this world and learns about quirks and how to be a hero. And so one day, his mom takes him to the quirk doctor to see if he has a quirk. And as they got to the quirk doctor analyzes Deku and sees that he doesn't have a quirk. And Bojji, hearing this, is devastated, seeing that that's the main point in this world and how to become a hero. But since Bojji became a king in his world without any power, he was still determined to become a hero no matter what, even without a power. He still had his past knowledge and how to, break things and basically dodge everything. And he was skillful enough and he had experience, as Bojji, or Deku, became inspired to become the #1 hero with nothing. And so, Deku started training his past abilities again. He started learning how to dodge. Even though he couldn't be as fast as he was in his old world, he was going to keep on trying to increase his speed and overcome his limits. And he also started to teach himself in how to pierce things and also how to pinpoint locate the weak spots of multiple things and objects as well. And since he actually had some strength here, he can learn how to actually wield a sword and also pierce things with his bare fist as well and destroy them. As Deku gets excited, learning that he has actual strength here and he can actually hit things harder than he usually does. And so one day, while Deku is at the playground, he's playing by himself since no one wanted to play with him. He kept on playing by himself until he sees Bakugo bullying this other kid for no reason. And ever since Bakugo got his quirk, he's been acting more ruthless and more, unresponsible with his quirk, as he uses his quirk more often to hurt people, even though he's not supposed to. As Deku sees this, since he's inspired by All Might here, he's gonna be throwing some hands. So he gets up to Bakugo and stands in front of the kid that Bakugo is bullying, as he yells at Bakugo, telling him to stop. As Bakugo starts to laugh, saying that the quiet kid finally came out to play, as Bakugo immediately rushes at Deku and throws an explosion, but Deku dodges it, as Bakugo is completely confused since he thought that hit landed. As Deku starts dodging Bakugo's attacks, Deku finally realizes that he's gonna have to fight back eventually. So he finally hits Bakugo, hitting him right in a weak spot, knocking him out immediately as Bakugo falls to the ground. And when Bakugo's goons see this, they're completely stunned and confused how a quirkless loser like him could take down Bakugo, as they immediately rush in, but with no effort at all. Izuku dodges them, but not wanting to escalate the situation, he doesn't do anything just yet, but they just keep on rushing in and try attacking Deku, and with no other choice, he also hits their weak points and pressure points and knocks them out clean. As they're all laying on the ground, Deku turns around to see the kid who is protecting, as he notices Tokiyami, as this immediately reminds him of his best friend, Kage, from his past life. As he wanted to say something to this person, but he couldn't bring himself to. And all of a sudden, Tokiyami, Dark Shadow, comes from Tokiyami's back and starts to tell Tokiyami that it seems like, this kid wants to be your friend. As Dark Shadow tells Tokiyami this, both Deku and Tokiyami start to talk to each other, and they finally become friends. As, they become good friends from, this point on. And so, Deku continues his training, learning his old techniques again, and making sure he can increase his speed and strength this time too. And since he finally has some sort of strength here, he decides that he's gonna properly use it. And so he learns martial arts as well. And since he wanted to gain his old sword, get a similar sword to his old sword in his past life, he decides to look around and discovers fencing. So Deku takes up fencing and martial arts as well. And seeing Deku, Tokiyami also joins in, also wanting to be a hero in the future as well. As he starts to train with Deku, and more things happen as well. And Bakugo also trains as well. Seeing that a quirkless loser like him beat him up, he couldn't allow it, and his pride wouldn't allow it as well. So Bakugo would train and become stronger too. And one day, while Deku and Tokiyami were training, Bakugo appears out of nowhere and tells Deku that he wants a rematch. As Deku, not wanting to fight for no reason, tells Bakugo that he's not going to fight him and declines Bakugo's offer. As Bakugo gets pissed, he immediately rushes at Tokiyami, and Tokiyami, who's, gained some abilities, is about to use Dark Shadow, but due to Bakugo's explosions, Dark Shadow is pretty weak and he can't do anything. As he's about to, throw an explosion as Tokiyami, as Deku immediately blitzes through at blitzing speeds and immediately puts a right hook punch in Bakugo's face. As he immediately hits Bakugo's thrown to the other side. As Deku tells Bakugo that he's not gonna let him hurt his friend again. As Bakugo starts to smirk and immediately rushes at Deku. As Deku starts dodging all of Bakugo's explosions and punches, all he does is dodge Bakugo's attacks and, punches him a few times, hurting Bakugo and inflicting chip damage. But that's all Deku is doing, and Bakugo starts to get frustrated, as all of a sudden Bakugo gets fed up and uses a huge explosion to decimate the ground below him, as he shoots it at Deku, and Deku, with no choice and no way to dodge this attack, he decides that it's finally time that he uses his weak point attack. as he immediately hits the explosion at its weak point, completely decimating it. As Deku starts walking right through the explosion, Bakugo is completely surprised by this, wondering how Deku did it, as he realizes that he used the weird ability that he did when they were kids. As Bakugo starts to get angry and rushes at Deku, as Deku uses this opportunity and uses Bakugo's own momentum to hit and uses his hand to punch Bakugo, as Bakugo lands to the ground, almost knocked out. As blood starts to drip from Bakugo's face, as Deku starts to get, sad and seeing that Bakugo is bleeding, as he starts apologizing to Bakugo, telling him that he didn't want, Bakugo to bleed and everything or for him to get hurt. As he starts, getting his first aid kit out and stuff, and starts, trying to help Bakugo. But Bakugo starts to get angry, seeing that, Izuku won the fight, and he's apologizing for winning. As Bakugo gets pissed and wipes the blood off of his face, and, just walks away, telling Deku that one day he's gonna win this fight, and, he's gonna make him bow before him like he's a king. You guys see what I did there? I said, Bakugo's gonna make him bow before him like he's the king, but, Deku was, never mind. So, Deku, goes to school that day, and the teacher was on the podium telling him about career forms and what they're gonna choose, as everyone starts cheering, saying that they want to be heroes. As Deku, not raising his hand, not caring that much since, he was still pretty smart in his last world, and, he had a bunch of knowledge from his last world as well. And he's doing pretty well in school since he was pretty well educated in his last world. So Deku really doesn't care about school much and only cares about his training and also becoming a hero. As the teacher starts reading out all the career forms and all the career paths that everyone wants to do, he gets to Deku and sees that he wants to go to UA. As everyone starts laughing at Deku, telling him that he has zero chance since he doesn't have a quirk. Even though he might be training, he still has zero chances, but no one really knows what Deku's real strength is. And after class that day, Bakugo still, annoys Deku and bullies him, but after class, Deku walks home and he starts to feel an ominous feeling behind him. As he gets under a bridge, he immediately turns around as the sludge villain pops behind him, pops out of the sewers behind him, and tells Deku that he has good instincts, and as he immediately lunges at Deku. As Deku locates the sludge villain's weak points and notices that it's his eyes, as he hits the sludge villain right in the eyes, blinding the sludge villain. As the sludge villain screams in pain, Izuku doesn't know what to do but run since he can't locate any other weak points. But all of a sudden, he hears a voice, similar to the one that he heard on TV and, his favorite hero. As he hears, "I'm here." And that's where we're going to be ending off the video, guys. I hope you guys like this what if. I think it's pretty decent so far. It'll probably get better. I have stuff up my sleeve over here. This first part might not seem as well, but, it's going to get way better. But other than that, guys, I hope you guys liked the video. So don't forget to, subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. But also don't forget to join the Discord. And I'm actually looking for, a new AMV artist. And I'm probably going to be holding an AMV competition or something. And looking for a new AMV that you guys can create me. Because, the first one right now, it's kind of questionable. All these other good YouTubers, they got some good AMVs, bro. But, there's going to be a reward in the end. So don't worry about that. And other than that, guys, I'll see you guys later.